All right, so George.
George attended meetings, and um, since there were so few people that attend many of these meetings, you got to pay attention to the people who were in the audience because some people were very vocal, other people didn't have a lot to say. George only said something that had more added more meaning to the subject. So any of his questions were to the point. I mean, he didn't go on. He didn't babble. He just tried to clear up any issue that was on hand, and the subject matter. A lot of times it was hard for me to understand. And George being professional, was the type of person who could actually sort through a lot of facts and figures and come down to the point of the issue and make a very brief to the point statement. Um, and another thing that I liked about George, and I liked about his family, is that when we first moved here, we were told to get a box at the post office. And one of the first things that I saw that I fell in love with was a piece of property that looked like it belonged out of Carrier and Ives. At that time, it didn't belong to the Delcino family. I wasn't even aware of the family who owned it. But as time goes by, because I know with myself that there are a lot of things that I can't do that get overgrown, and it's very easy for things to overgrow when you live in the woods, that the place was going up for sale, and I knew this only because the neighbors told me, and I was just hoping that somebody would buy it and keep it looking like it did when I first saw it, and maintain the grounds because it was getting a little bit overgrown. And I saw a young family, and I thought, boy, this is really cool because they have their boys out there working, and the whole family's out there working, and maybe I could hire them to work in my woods. But they spent years on that property. It is a gem in West Vincent Township. That is one of the most exquisite pieces of property. And at Christmas time, when they put up the little lights on the outbuildings and around their house, it almost takes your breath away. And George and his family have done a lot for our township, and I feel that George, being a supervisor, can actually adds so much. He's so intelligent. He knows every issue that's come down the pike, from little things like, oh, well, let's charge a $200 fence fee so that someone wants to put up a fence, or let's do some other thing that if you could sign this, and you could actually not knowingly sign away rights to your property because of the way things are worded. And he is a value to our township, and he's a value to, I think, to everyone who lives in here. And the one last thing I have to say is I'm very, very proud for him to call me a friend, and I'm very happy that he has sat through all the trash committees, the trash task force for 2.5 years. That was a real fun job. And everyone has trash. How many people attended the trash committee meetings when the winters were just brutal? George was there. I was there. And he paid attention, and we listened, and I think the result was that we have a choice who our trash collectors should be, and it's the same way that I think we should have a choice on what we do with our property. If we would like to donate it, or if my husband and I felt that we would like to donate to the Audubon Society or some others, it's a free will thing. And as of now, we have no intentions. We've kept our 60, I don't know, maybe 7 acres clear. We allow a certain amount of hunting on it, but we don't allow timbering. Of course, nature has a way of timbering its own trees, just as long as they don't fall on the house. But this overgrown piece of property has been home for many of the birds that I don't see in this area anymore, because most of the pretty birds need a place that is protected. They need a wooded area, and I know part of George's area is wooded, but he values the point that you can't have everything looking nice. You just can't clear cut everything and then mow everything down, because no self-respecting animal is going to live in the middle of nowhere. But George, I wish you all the luck in the world, and God bless.
Very good. Great.
So you can take out anything you want. You can edit anything you want.
I'll let Barry do the editing. I don't know how to do that.